Okay. Check 1, 2, 3. Everybody hear me? Better now? Yes, so I'm really happy and I want to say thank you very much guys for coming out. Alright, so we will begin our agenda, and I will be the host of the meeting will be chaired by our SEC representative, Miss Danicia Graham. Can we give her a round of applause, guys?
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Good evening, everyone. You heard me? Or I don't need the mic? I need the mic? Yes. Need the mic? You heard me now? Right. Alright, so good evening, everyone. Again, I'm Miss Danicia Graham. For those persons who were at the last meeting, you would remember me. Alright? Alright, so I'm the Community Development Officer for Braeton, Greater Portmore, Waterford, and Independent City from the Social Development Commission, SDC. Alright, so I am honored to be your chairperson for today. Thank you so much, Mr. Jones, for the invitation and this very bashy and boasty position for this evening. I'm happy for it. Alright, so we have an agenda and we'll be going by the agenda. Alright, so this meeting has officially been called to order. 53. Alright. We are now going to do our roll call to see if we have representatives from all walkway, right, in phase 2 and phase 7. Alright, so let us do our roll call starting from my right.
Third.
Six. All right. Six. Third. 7. Okay. 6. All right. 7. Third. So we have, I heard second, right? So a second, third. We have any fourth, fifth, sixth, 7. Right?
And 8. I represent 8.
And 8. So that's everybody?
Yeah.
Did we hear first?
First, no, we don't have a representative.
We have Laura from first. Alright. So we have from Braeton Way.
Braeton, yeah.
We have phase 7.
Phase 7, we have one representative from phase 7.
Okay. Alright, so we now move down to the apologies. Alright, so I must give 3 apologies. Alright, so the first one is from my parish manager, Miss Aisha Hope. I must apologize for my lateness as well, because I'm coming from a meeting from phase 1, which she's actually conducting that meeting on my behalf because I have to be here. I'm also giving apologies for Councillor Wint. He will be here in short order. As soon as we are down to that section, I'll have to call him for him to come over. He's at that meeting as well. And also MP Fitz Jackson. He's currently at that meeting in phase 1 as well. Alright, so they will be here, but as soon as we draw closer to that on the agenda, we will just call them for them to come over. Alright, so because of their lateness, what we would do is right, so following the agenda, we have MP Fitz Jackson and Councillor Wint and Mrs. Collins to bring greetings. However, based on the apology, we'll just let Mrs. Collins go ahead and bring her greetings, and then after that, we will have Miss Collins and Mr. Jones speaking to you on some matters relating the Phase 2 and Phase 7 United. Alright, so before we reach that, see, I'm moving so fast on the agenda. We cannot go any further without bringing the presence of God, right? So I'll ask Mrs. Winsome to give us a word of prayer, and then we'll go into the greetings from Mrs. Collins.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're gonna pray. Eternal God and Father, we thank you for this afternoon. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to gather in this fashion today. Lord, before we came here, you know the plan for today. And so, Lord, we just don't want to come today and nothing. We want something to come out of this meeting. And so, Lord, we just want you to just bless each and every one who are here today. Give us the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding, and help us, Lord, to work together as a community. Lord, as you said, a family that prays together, stays together. We want to stay together as this community today. Lord, we just want to bless the ministers who are about to come, that they will come with a powerful passion, that the community can move forward, and us, the people in the community, will work together to see the better and the livement of our community. Bless everyone today, Lord, and let everything that's said be honor to your name, and that your name will be glorified. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you so much for that prayer, Mrs. Winsome. Alright, Mrs. Collins.
Blessed good evening, each and everyone. From our community, Phase 2 and Phase 7, neighboring, I just want to welcome each and everyone this evening. Moreover, I want to give God thanks first. Had it not been for Him, we wouldn't be here. So I want to thank Him for allowing us to be in this fashion this evening. And I want to say, thank the Lord that our community is still alive and well. And thanking the Lord for each and every one. As we work together, we will achieve a great deal of work. God bless you in Jesus' name.
Alright, so just to add to what Ms. Collins is saying, well, give you a brief synopsis of who Mrs. Collins is. Mrs. Collins is our community JP, Justice of the Peace. She is also one of the community JP. She is a pastor, and she is also is the president of the Citizens Association, the Braeton Citizens Association. Alright, and that leads us to one of the major discussions that we will be having today, because we want to move forward as one team. We decided that we will be coming together as a force, and we're moving forward as one unit, right? So that is one of the major things that we will be discussing today. So that is something that we have on the table. All right, so Alright, so what I'm going to do in the meantime, because we're waiting on our guest, I'm just gonna open the floor. I just want to open the floor for us to just voice of some of our concerns, right? Some of our concerns. We have some major things that we want to talk about, right? But I just want to take it from individual perspective, right? So some of the things that are affecting us as persons that are living in the community. Anybody would like to say anything at all or share? Nobody don't want to talk. All right, we don't have to talk. When you can sit down, you can sit down, I would talk. If that is okay with everyone. All right, so for me, some of the major concerns that I'm having is one of the integral thing that I would want to see is the park. The park is not so in such a good condition. If we look around, we don't. There's not much things for the kids to do, right? And this coming from I got the benefit of the park, so I know what it can bring to the community, or the value that it adds to the community. A couple years back, this place was very active with kids. This was where we hosted our youth club meetings, right? And our youth club meeting, Mr. Hans can tell you, we used to have person numbers going up to 80 persons, 70 persons coming to this park, right? But at present, there is not a lot of amenities, there's not a lot of things to grasp the youth, right? And I believe that having a place for our youths together is a good way of sharing good habits, right? We're going to have good and bad habits in everything we do. However, if we have the right guidance, we can help to nurture our youths into becoming like good citizens. Civic pride, that is something that I take pride in. I am a person, I love to help persons. That is my first mandate, to always help. I'm always willing to help. And helping my community, civic, I want to see the best for my community. I've heard stories, Miss
Yeah. Hey, it's fine.
Miss Davis,
Yes, sir.
she can tell us, Miss Campbell, these are persons that have told me stories of when Mr. Williams told me story of when Braeton come in at the newspaper as one of Portmore best communities, right? I wasn't there to see it, right? But I've heard these stories. I've heard so many things about our community, and to see how our community is currently, this is what sparked me to, move to go along with this initiative, to push this initiative, because I believe that we can do this together. We can get back to where it was. If we don't get back where it was, we can at least have some things in place so that we can get there. Right? It's not going to happen overnight, but I believe that it's a process. Right? And if we can achieve one thing each month, then for the year we can achieve 12 things coming down. And for me, if we can achieve 12 this year and 12 next year, it's better than not doing anything at all.
That's right.
So even if we set out a plan and we don't get it this month, I know that we can attack it next month and we can put more energy and more emphasis on it in next month, right? So that is the sort of attitude that I'm coming with. I believe that teamwork needs to be. And if we're going to do this, we need to do this as a team. And when I say teamwork, yeah, everybody have ideas. Everybody have a brain to think. But we really want to put our energy, some of our energy, because we have a lot to do. Everybody has their own lives to live, right? However, if we can just take half an hour out of our day to just say, all right, then, I'm going to add value to my community, or one month or 1 day out of a year, 2 days out of a year, to say, all right, I'm going to dedicate this time towards my community, or towards something positive, I believe that we can make a difference, right? There's so much, the pedestrian crossing. I've seen it happen. I've seen it gotten painted, right? The park, the play sets. I've seen it got painted. I've seen where we had swings, very functional. I've seen where we had activities, we clean up the community. But over the past couple of years, because of reasons beyond our control, COVID and some other and other things, I believe that we need to rejuvenate that pride that we have in our community, because Braeton has a stigma. When you think about Braeton, one of the first things you might think about is Braeton said the killing. But I believe that there is more, and we can achieve more. Braeton 7, the killing of the 7 person. I believe, Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. I have a very strong voice, you know. Yeah, so I believe that we can, as a community, when we look over there, we see the youths playing in the gully. I used to play ball in the gully, and that was a very awesome experience for me, right? But at present, the gully isn't, I don't think we can do that, because it hasn't been clean for a minute. I haven't seen it. I'm not sure if it has been, but I haven't seen it, right? And that was something, that was a place, the gully was a place where we, Bortuka, PS3, all the youth them come together to just enjoy some time, just play football, build some bonds. Even now, like persons, I'm getting older. I'm getting older, right? Because I see some young ones coming up, and for me, I have a child, right? And I would want my child to come here and get the benefits, to see some of the things that I have gotten from this community. There's a lot of bad things that has happened, but however, I've gotten a lot of good things, because me used to walk around and beg people for youth club, right? As Auntie Ashley can tell, a lot of persons here are witness to that, and we got a lot of things done. So I know that it's possible, right? And I would want to see these things coming back again, right? Because the next generation, they are out there, and they are looking, they're on the road, they're walking the road, but there's nothing to really occupy them, right? So I want, that is one of the major things for me, one of my major concerns, the youths growing up, right? And over the past 2 years, we've seen a lot of deaths, we've seen a lot of violence and so on and so forth, which has crippled some of our residents, crippled us in fear. I believe that we can step out now as a community and come again, wheel and come again. The initiative, when I think about it, when it came to me, it's somewhat of an epiphany, right? I was there, I was just thinking about my community, and the name came to me, Ignite the Village, right? Igniting the village, it means basically bringing back, lighting a flame. I'm a firefighter by profession, so I don't really want to talk too much about the fire thing. But when I say ignite the village, it's bringing back the values, the core values that these persons have instilled in the community and making it better, right? And I for one believe that it's very much possible. And I'm not sure, like, do we believe that we can do it? No, man, I don't believe so. I don't believe so, I believe. Yeah, most definitely. I believe that we can. We can make it better for the next generation. And other persons, Miss Collins, other persons have shared certain things with me, and I've been exposed to it. So I would want the same for the generation coming up, right? Because there's a lot. My friends are having children now,
Hey, Jenna. Hello. Oh, I was just saying hello. So we're bringing in a new generation. So we would want to ensure that they are getting exposed to good things, good values, right? Anything else anybody would want to say? Mr. Who? Good evening, sir. Mr. Williams. Good evening, sir. Beautification. Okay. Mrs. French, not everyone can hear you. Everybody hearing Mrs. French?
What I was saying, beautification.
Norman, Mrs. French. Norman, come here. Just give me a moment here. Because everybody, we're all neighbors and we need to get to know each other. So before anyone before anyone share, we don't want to know a bit about you as an individual. So just give us a brief synopsis of Mrs. French.
Mrs. French is Mrs. French. And I live on Fort Manatee Way. I have 4 children. 1 husband, but he would leave before me. So I'm waiting to meet him somewhere, way beyond the sky. Right? But what my aim is to see the community lifted up a little. So I'm talking about beautification. And you would say, what kind of beautification? Plant trees. And on the sidewalk, keeping the green area fresh, green, cut, clean, cleanliness. I don't know how we're going to help that so much, because what I've observed, Mr. Who and I used to come out and sweep. We never get paid from nobody, but we wanted to see the community clean. And we come out and we sweep. And after we're done sweep, we sorry to sweep. Because box juice and dirt and cockroaches all over the place. That's the word for it, cockroaches. Yes. So what we want to focus on, and each of us can do something. Where you live. If you live on the stretch there, that little green area belongs to you. I've seen other persons cut their green areas. So we don't have to wait and say, boy, the Citizens Association to give me money to cut it. And the MP now giving us money for cut it, and the councillor never know it. All right? So we have to put everything into it. Plant green bougainvilleas. Get some bougainvilleas. Look how, you see the beautiful how these bougainvilleas are? Can you imagine on the stretch? You plant a few and they bloom. The beauty you would see coming down the road. That's what we're talking about. The entrance. The entrance. When you enter, it look like say a pure. None of we live here number 2. We are all decent, kind, gentle, caring people, and I think our community can show that by the way we treat our entrance, where we live. When people come down. The other area I want to touch on, but need to leave it with me. I can't wait to see the MP and the councillor. The car parks need fixing. That alone let the community look dilapidated. Right. That alone let the community look like nobody don't live here. So those are some issues that we have to address and talk about. And I will say this in a little bit. The MP, no matter what color them be, they are here to serve the people. And the people is all of us. All of us. We don't wear colors, we are people. When they win to serve the people. No matter which color win, the color will win supposed to serve everybody. So we have to hold them to their responsibility. We are not holding them. And this is why the car park this is so long. Me tired to talk, because my MP afraid of me. Because man, I go out of function and them take me and then I people them function. Because I'm tired to call him about the car park. So we have to come together now. We all have to come together and put pressure upon him. Make him know that we mean business. We need the car park to be fixed. All right? God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. French. Mr. Who? No, man, I want to hear something from you, sir. No, man, more I hear your voice, man. Yeah, I want to hear.
Good evening, everyone. You know, from Fort, nobody know Fort. Nobody doesn't want to know about Fort because it's clean. No, and I'm going to take a look at Fort and see what it looks like. Somebody from Fort here, yeah. The same thing cannot be never walk here. Every people in the cooperate. You know, but the thing is, not only live with this all the while. We never start love each other, man. So they can't keep the warfare clean. That's all. Yeah. You see, the thing is, look here. Braeton can look like any uptown, you know. Don't it? Wanna believe that? Wanna believe that? Yeah. Well, I said Braeton can look like any uptown, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
No, but when I agree,
Definitely.
let's simply make it happen. That's easy as that, you know. Yeah. You see, they have some young people that kind of too loose because, you know, I used to clean up from come up, and when and before the day out, back to say I can't do 200 ground. We're going to stop that. Maybe the community can look like anywhere else. It can look like Caribbean Estate. It left up to us. And the truth is, if you're not ready to do that, don't call me again. Serious. That's simple as that. Then I can start something and get the place to look good. Alright? Thank you.
Anybody else who don't want to say anything? JP. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to hear your voice. Good evening, neighbors. My name is Williams, Justice of the Peace on 5th. We have all been harping about beautification. We have been talking about civil pride, civic pride. But civic pride begins with me. Civic pride does not begin in a community, no matter where the community is. If ragamuffin live in the community is going to be ragamuffin. My policies are simple. From the column of my yard to the other column belongs to me. I keep it clean. The people who walk will see me out there every morning. When I go ride, I come back in and I keep my area clean. Now, if my neighbor does the same thing, and her neighbor does the same thing, and the neighbor down the other side does the same thing, the whole walkway will be clean. It begins with us. It makes no sense we want to see the place look good, but we're not putting anything into it. Upstairs my house, just sweep outside and wet up. And a fella pass within 2 spots. And you think of nowhere else to drop in 2 spots but at my gate. There is no personal pride. There's a garbage drum out at the corner, and you wouldn't walk and put it there. It begins with us. We're talking about the youths. One of the things I do not do, I wear many hats. But in my counseling, I have always been asking this question. I do not tell people what to do. There's no politician who can tell me what to do. I know what I want to do. We cannot institute for the young people in the area. We can't do that. We can't. Because my agenda is different from theirs. At my tender old age, my likes and dislikes are going to be different from the children. My modus operandi is going to be different.
I'm not going to wear my pants with me. No child here, with my drawers showing. Underpants is underpants. No, when you tell the young fellow to pull up in pants, you be sin according to him. I have had a situation on my walkway, and it, my voice up, and it bothers me. There was a little fellow used some expletives, and without thinking, I called him and said, "Come here." That came out of your mouth. He apologized in his way. But that wasn't the issue, and that still isn't the issue. The issue is, his parents are offended by me scolding the child. The parents are offended by me scolding the child. Now I have a dilemma. Should I keep my mouth, put my hand in my pocket and mind my own business, or should I try to help to uplift the community? That question is a question for all of us. That question is for all of us. We want to do, but are we allowed to do? Our values and attitudes are different from the young people, and we have to tailor our values and attitudes a little bit. I love jazz, and people who pass my house sometimes, they're all be disturbed in that I play my music, but I play music. Young people play tune, and I hear some bad words coming from to them tune, that there's no way I am going to speak to them. I just wouldn't. The other day, I was in a certain place. I was wearing I saw a fellow in a shirt. And I was looking at the shirt, and I said, kid, now, a blue shirt like that. I'm just looking at him subconsciously. I was looking at him, but not really staring at him. And his remarks was, an old boy looking. So we have a dilemma. Yes, we want to uplift the community, but we have to uplift the community with our values and attitudes tailored to fit some of the young people. It was nice talking to you, and thank you for your kind attention.
Alright, thank you, Sir JP. Alright, so let me use
Sir Williams.
Mr. Williams. Let me use this opportunity to acknowledge and welcome our Member of Parliament, Mr. Fitz Jackson, and our Councillor, Anthony Wint. Alright? So seeing that they're here now, we will just go back to our agenda, which we will take our greetings from the MP and Councillor Wint in that order. Alright?
Thank you, Ms. Graham. Good evening again, everybody. My pleasure to see Fizz 2 gathering like this before. I know when it used to be very active. Very active. And by extension, the many things that were done then. And I'm going to say something I just said to another Citizen Association meeting a while ago. Over at phase 1, Councillor Wint and myself, so we came together because we were there. And I see a gentleman and a pair shadowing behind me everywhere I go. And I said to you something I said to them. As Member of Parliament, and it applies to the Councillor too, we can be more effective when there's a consensus around community issues. We can't act on the basis of one man around to tell you this and a one man around to tell you that. Because we are about serving the community and not just individual. And number 2, we have to also do a balancing.
Yeah, so low.
Because as councillors and member of parliament, we have responsibility for everywhere in our respective areas. And the challenges are enormous. And so you have to take a decision based on the extent of the challenge in each community. And by extent, I mean the extent of the impact of those outstanding things that need to be addressed. And then you prioritize accordingly. And sometimes you have to do them in series. Do this now, this later, and all of that come down to funding. Funding. We don't get funding on an ongoing basis. We get allocation and we actually do things on a project basis. So you put in for this one project this year, you put in for this one other project next year, and it is for everything. Everything under the sun. And I know persons here about allocations MP get. I've said it privately and openly. If central government was to do everything that it has a responsibility to do, I don't have to get the allocation. Because the allocation that you get is really to help to plug the gap where something is not being done. I, for example, put a priority in my allocation to education. So most of what I get allocated go towards school-related activities. Assistance as best we can with students and support to the schools. One school, for example, 1 year I spent $5 million on a fencing project. One school, right? So you know how much more you can do. The center over here, the police station, everybody come to the member of parliament. And you come to the MP to help out where something is not being done. Road repairs. I know that's one of the things in Facebook too. Road repairs. And you have all the communities that you have to attend to. Some worse than some. And you have to make a decision. But in it all, you can't abdicate the responsibility. You can't close the eye and run away. You have to do the best you can. And it's so different from your own household, you know. Each household have their own challenges in terms of your income and what the family responsibilities are. And you have to just spend as best you can. And when you have done your best, it don't mean that you solve the problems entirely or even substantially in many cases. But you can't run away from the responsibility. You have to exercise the best judgment to make the household as livable and as tolerable as is possible. That is my duty. And that's what I undertake to continuously do. And that duty is best executed when we have consensus in the community. So when the community come to me and say, MP, this or that, far different than an individual come to me and say this or that. Because individuals are not communities. Individuals by themselves, but together, it's a whole different thing. Right? So I want to applaud Phase 2 for coming back. Them say, whole time something come back again. This is like a jazz, my friend. Right? Whole time something come back again. And it's good whole time something. And when I saw in the invitation that the meeting was going to be in the park, I was even more delighted because I know the beginning of this park. I knew what it became and then what it fell down to over the years. So just to be even gathering here with it as it is a good sign. So I just want to use this opportunity, residents all, to renew or to remind you, those who might have short memory, I mean not throwing stone after nobody, right? Even one that might be looking in front of me, right? Directly in front of me, that is, right? That I remain committed to work with you as usual. It's good to have a community grouping that we can relate to. Some of you come to the city MP, but it's these occasions like this make you see the MP. Because when I come into Phase 2 very often, and persons here can testify to that. Right, Mr. Adrian?
I come in here very often, but I don't come to a gathering like this. No, him see me, man. Nobody pick my ear drum now, right? But we know him see me, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, the leadership of this association, trust me, enough respect to you all. I really want, you clap on yourself, right? Clap on yourself to come back together and form this new thing. Right? It's not something that I could do. It's you all have to do it, and you have done it. You have brought this about, and that if I want to come in.
Young people.
And thank you. When I sat there, that was the first thing that struck me. The number of young people that are here this evening. Very different from where I'm coming from. Right? And I went to somewhere else when I identified where it was, and one of the observations I made, which was a bit troubling, is how minimal young people was in the congregation. Very minimal, less than 2%. Right? So I'm very enlightened. I'm very excited about the young people who have come forward and participate. And why that is of significance, ladies and gentlemen. One of the problems that we have had over the years with many citizens associations is a complaint about the young people who seem to operate separate from them, and their behavior and conduct, and that disconnect between the young people and the older people in the community. But when you see the young people being a part of the Citizens Association, it lays the basis on which you can have interaction, and the interaction can help to resolve many of the issues that may arise between the older ones and the younger ones. Because the truth of the matter, you know, young people can better communicate with young people than those of us who are not so young. Right? So it's good to have them as part of the group. And so my commendations are in order for that unison between the young and the old. I wish you all the best on the journey, and you know, we continue to work. I've been in constant contact with the Citizens Association since the rebirthing effort, and that will continue in the ensuing future. Thank you very much. Ms. Graham. Yes, and he welcomes it. But he will speak to you about that himself.
Thank you very much. Wonderful residents of Phase 2, Braeton. And 7. Okay, thank you. Mr. Jackson, while you might visit Adrian in the days, I visit him at night. And during those visits, we are treated to fritters, curry shrimp, and we play a wonderful game of domino. So, Braeton Phase 2 is like my home, as I spend many hours here playing dominoes. Sometimes some little events come up and we have to run, but we regroup and we come back again and we play our dominoes. So, happy to be here, happy for the turnout. Of course, me and my member of parliament work as a team, so whatever he says, I says the same thing, so he has spoken for both of us. But just to say that I'm particularly pleased about the rebirth of the Citizen Association since Chad, I came here and see them as youngsters meeting in this very same park. And to see the transition that they have made from youngsters talking about football and all kind of games to really come to the fore as leaders for their community. And I'm extremely happy, and that's why I have to give them a round in applause. I've seen quite a few of them from the Braeton Strikers Association. They are here now, and I'm sure that the rebirth of the Citizen Association and this gathering might have been impacted by their efforts. And I just want to big up Collins. I saw your name but didn't see you. who have been here with us for some time, holding on. And I know that you are very happy to see what is here this evening and that the transition has taken place. We have nurtured our youngsters. We have trained them to the point where they can come and be leaders of their community. Extremely happy, and I look forward to working with them. Somebody mentioned about a lot of youths that I have to deal with. You know, I never get old. So I'm prepared to work with those young people. Chad and myself have a wonderful relationship, and most of them, because as I said when I came here, they were youngsters still going to school, but had a insight of the community. They love the community and they want to serve, and they are here to serve now. I just hope that all of you as seniors will work with them, and I know them still going to need some guidance. You can give them the guidance that is necessary, and as my member of parliament said, it makes our job a lot easier when we can meet with a group this size, because decisions that are taken can better be implemented by us than when we hear them going. So with that I say, thanks for having me, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, MP Jackson and Councillor Wint. Alright, I am just going to also welcome our Councillor Caretaker, Mr. Dudley. MP. Yeah. Sorry, my apology. Alright, so I'll just give you a few minutes to bring your greetings to the residents.
Alright, so present evening, Braeton phase 2 and 7. It is indeed a privilege for me to be here. Let me greet the Member of Parliament. Yes, you're a Member of Parliament and your councillor. You know, and I want to greet you all well, because at the end of the day, the whole issue of collaboration, participation from residents is what is going to create the transformation that Portmore, its length and breadth, indeed, Braeton phase 2 and 7 truly require. I want to also acknowledge Patrick Barrett. He's also here representing Councillor Trisha Walters in her absence, and she brings you greetings too. Well, Councillor Caretaker Trisha Walters. I am saying that when I've represented communities across the length and breadth of this country as it relates to community safety, neighborhood watch, and a community that comes together in itself is able, with the spirit of accountability of self, is able to effectively hold accountable your member of parliament and your councillor. And therefore, if there's any gap in terms of representation, it would be lack of that accountability system, or holding them stringently to what they are expected to do, that you are not seeing done, and you take it for granted that it's okay. It is definitely not okay when you have representatives, not because I'm an aspirant, but I have been a community member for a number of years, and my friend Fitz knows that. And so when I enter the space of representation at the political level, it is because I believe that there is a gap, and that gap needs to be filled. And we are intent on filling that gap. And one of the things that I've always asked of you in order to hold you accountable is to say, and this is an exercise I usually do, and I'm just going to quickly do it, and I'm going to be finishing in a little while, just now. But the question I would ask of you, do you know the name of this lady? What's her name? Hello? No, you. This lady. Good. I'm going to ask you, sir, what's the name of that lady in that cap over there? You don't know. Hold on. I'm hoping, lady, I am asking you, what's the name of that gentleman behind you? Good. Give yourself a round of applause. And I'm going to ask you, who's been very vocal, you know everybody, what's the name of this lady? What's the name of this lady? Hold on, stand up, let him see you. What's her name? Peggy. Barbie knows you don't know Peggy. And then, all right, let's find what's your you. What's the name of that lady there? You don't know. All right, the exercise is primarily to say that we exist in a community, but we don't know one another. And that is a significant part of our problem. And so I urge you before you leave, as you have met your MP caretaker, Dabney, I want you to endeavor to meet somebody else that you don't know. That person has something to offer you that you don't know yet. When this community comes together and you have the spirit of community colliding positively, the community must change. The community must transform. And I'm going to say to us, we are here to assist that process, to help you to hold your member of parliament accountable, because wherever he said, I'm tagging him, but yes, man, wherever you go, I will be there. And I'm going to be listening to the issues, and I'm going to be coming back to you to find out whether or not the issues are addressed, because we can't address them. You have a councillor, you have a member of parliament. But I'm sure Fitz is my friend. Fitz is going to take what you would want to call it, the precaution to ensure that all the issues you raise based on economics and the ability to deal with them based on priority will be done. And I look forward to active and more interactive representation from the member of parliament. And yes, we are going to be here to ensure that you are better served by us collectively coexisting. All right? So I want to thank you for giving me opportunity to acknowledge you and to be here with you, and I'm here to serve because yes, first I'm a member of this Portmore community, and wherever Portmore go positively, then we can go together. God bless you, and may you continue to be a cohesive community, coexisting for the spirit of change and transformation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dabney. All right, so back to our agenda. All right, so we have some urgent topics to be discussed, and those topics are the pedestrian crossing, that's the one out there, car park here, and street lights and the potholes. All right, so we are going to have an open discussion now, right?
The project, right?
Pardon?
Pedestrian crossing.
Is the pedestrian crossing a community project?
14 years now. And nothing. Long time.
It has been
You don't put a little pipe, the mall, what are they doing? But if you can go can put a pipe, between the wrong thing. A pipe, a failing pipe. I can't tell what you mean as well. You need to do that. You need that you have a son already. Yes, serious problem that. So we can do that problem.
Alright, is it pertaining to the pedestrian crossing? Alright. I'm taking it one at a time. Not hearing you.
Not hearing you. No. Yeah, we want to undermine this camera. Tell us the name and which walkway represents.
Good night, everyone. No, my concern, pedestrian crossing, we started long time as a project. But what is happening now is that it failed. And persons, especially the kids, most of the time, you know, the hooligans them come into and for when I know the place. I mean, you really have to sometimes call to the kids. If not, they get lit down out there. When I spoke the last time here, I was told that about a month after. A man got it down out there, so we need it to be highlighted and you know, at the sign, pedestrian crossing from a distance that everybody can see. Because we don't want nobody, we don't want any of our kids or any of us really get it down out there. Because it really is it's a mad place.
Let me comment about the pedestrian. Madam, I heard your frustration about the pedestrian crossing, but we have to be very practical, right? There's going to be a major upgrading from Nagohead, go up to Elshaw Road. No, listen, cool man. No, others I'm talking, I'm acknowledging. In fact, a similar question was asked, not about pedestrian, but about the road there over by phase 1, where we were this evening. And as I said, told them, I plan next week when we have standing finance committee meeting in Parliament to get on the record, not through a direct interaction with NWA, the schedule of work for that, because the funding has been secure for it already. They don't cancel them for find money. Like how they say have to find money for run election, right? The money has been already secured for that. It's a question of NWA scheduling the work. When the work starts, the road is going to be torn up, right? They have made arrangement for alternate routing of the traffic during the construction phase. And in any case, pedestrian crossing on the main road has to be approved by the NWA. So even if we want to do it before, we have to get them approve it. And the odds are they're not going to approve it, no, they're going to chop up the road in a matter of a month or two. My speculation at the time, but should be close. So I do understand the frustration. I drive this road often, and I see the challenge that people have crossing. Of course, I always stop once them put them foot out to cross. But I can see coming down or coming up the difficulty that persons have, especially children too, at times. So I can relate to your frustration. I can relate to your impatience to get it done. But I'm not an apologist for the government, right? But I'm confident that the work will start very soon. And I have to take a kind of rational approach to it, right? So I will keep on it to get the schedule, and I'll share it with the association so you get a sense of when it will commence.
I have a question though. I hear what you said, very soon, which is very relative. And very soon could be tomorrow morning.
No, I did give an idea from my perspective of relative. I expect them to start. I know they start planning work already. I have been privy. The council is here. He has seen the design work and everything that has been done on it. They have granted me the courtesy of inviting me to their office and go through the whole design work to be done. So it's not just an idea being floated. It's actual design work that has already been done. What is to be done that I want to find out of is when the schedule of work on the ground will commence. I'm coming to you. But in any case, what is the normal process for major road work like these that will disrupt traffic greatly is a community sensitization exercise where the residents will be invited to a meeting in one of the church hall or convenient places, and they will outline to you directly the scope of work to be done, how it's going to impact on day-to-day movement of residents, what are the arrangements in place for people to move around the construction area, the work period for the day, and all of those details. They will provide that to you directly, and I expect that to be sooner than later. Madam? Not my not my approval. Right? I don't have those powers. I know, you're the NWA approval. I would think not. Because the approval is already in place. And I think I know where your mind is going. Can it be brightened in the interim until that happens? That is, but as was said, your community did it,
Yeah, that is a community decision.
Right. And not a community decision, but a community action too.
Just to paint it.
No, hold on. Let me be careful about this. Because I am too accustomed to many people come to community meeting and say things. And not many people are willing to do what they say, such as assisting. And it's easy to talk at meetings. Do this, do that. And many of the time, many who say do this, do that, don't lift a finger. So while we say it will energy what is to be done, let us implement with energy too. So yes, to answer your question, the committee can do it if you all are willing to come forward and do it.
Okay, so I have a question. When you say that you will implement with energy, what is the energy? 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 What is the energy?
volunteers.
Yes, we all are willing to come and do it. What help can we get from whoever it is that represents
As is, no,
to do the
the last set of painting was done was assisted by my office and the councillor, and it will be no different going forward.
Okay, so all right, we just want
Right?
to be clear on that.
Because no, many of the community things, I don't walk and broadcast many things, but the community organization and those who are active in the community, they are aware.
Okay, sir. We just want to know.
So MP as a short-term solution, while you seek audience with SWA to get the schedule, we can approach your office for assistance
To do
this in the interim, because it is an eyesore out.
But the short answer to that, the short answer to that is yes, but I'll go further. But you never wait for me to tell you so you can come to my office so you don't want help. You don't come. So don't wait for an invitation from me. Because you don't always come. Because there is a sitting, standing, open door in that regard.
Yes, I know that.
We know that.
Alright, thank you. So now we're moving on to the other urgent topic on the agenda, which is the cleaning of the gully. And you're referring to this gully here? This one.
Yeah.
This and go straight.
The thing is,
So you have to come up here so we can hear the concerns.
what I just mentioned concern.
The
I don't want to
pile
talk
of the sun.
right first. What I just mentioned right there, where the sun hard again.
We know it's which one.
You know this one? Yes, very dangerous. So maybe you can tell us something about if you can get the clean someone. When I'm going to the city truck with the truck that what they used to clean the sewer. They can blow the sun out, you know.
Okay.
But they will have to try that.
You want to take that one?
Yeah.
Thank you. The drain that is being mentioned, a bit taken aback that Water Commission will run a pipe across that drain because it is already small, and every time the rain falls, it cannot take the volume of water that come out of the community. Every time it rains, we have to try when the big drain subsides to clean it. Because when the big drain, the water elevated it push back the water. The force of that water doesn't allow this one to come out. So it forces it back and it has to stay there for a while until the big drain subsides. But there are always stuff in it that impede the flow of the water. But it's not furniture, it's some big stones. And every time, yes, well I hear you talk about sand now, but I'm just telling you that every time it rains, we clean it. So it's not a lack of cleaning. I don't know where that sand came from because the last time we cleaned the entire drain, took out the stuff and removed it by truck. And they had a lot of problem getting the persons to remove the sand, but eventually it was removed. So I will look at it again and try and be proactive and see if there is sand, we get somebody to go in there and move it. But the pipe that runs across it going to cause a serious problem because the drain as it is now is not large enough to take off the volume of water. So I'm surprised that you said that, but I will investigate it with Water Commission and have somebody to look at it to see where that pile of sand is in there and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. We're on to... Sure.
Am I being heard?
Yes.
This is not selfish. It is not as personal as it might sound, but it is. I represent Fitz and the car park between Fitz and you, Miss Reed, down at 6. My youngest child is 30, and that car park has not been redone in all of those years. It is now a dust bowl. The breeze don't have to blow in. And all the dust end up where it's not supposed to end. I don't know what the budgetary allocation is. I don't know. I am sure that the citizens will be able to do that. But it is even to tar the mark to keep down the dust. Car park between 5th and 6th on the left hand side is a virtual dust bowl. Mr. MP, I don't know if your money done. If you have any change, please if you can, Mr. MP.
Mr. Williams, I'm a personal person. You have a right to look out for where you live, right? So you don't have to be guarded, right? In making representation for your area. And that's what Citizen Association meeting is all about. Right? So don't feel any way. I'm aware of it.
You are?
Yes. Part of the challenge, you see. We tell us I'm come and face too plenty time, you know. I've been out there not aware. And I've been taken there too.
Where you doing, Fitz?
I know Adrian when we go. A boy look at me put Adrian in a chuckle, right? But seriously, I came, the council and myself, and we looked at it. And another was brought to our attention that was in bad condition. Just this week, I think it is Tuesday or thereabout, I finally got the estimates from the municipality for the repair of both of them. It's a hefty sum, right? Of course, that is not your problem. You know, that is mine.
And across where Baker, what Baker's walkway is at. Fifth and sixth.
Fifth and same one them, fifth and sixth. Well, I got it's two sets I got just this week.
Mr. MP, sir, may I just say something? Because I think we're taking this thing and the truth is...
One at a time. All right, Billy, go ahead. You want to come?
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, Mr. Wint had promised 2 years ago to fix that car. That car park, the third and fourth, you know it very well. No, it's the worst. It's the worst. I mean, the dirt, you can't carry a toddler across there. Because up here, the big stone, them when them use and lay the foundation, the whole of them just stand up so. And it's pure dirt. You can't pick up the dirt like that. It's the worst. So, I mean, don't left me out, please. Mr. Wint, you promised that you was going to fix it, and it's still not fixed.
We can't fix all of them at the same time.
But a long time
We're going to do them. We're going to do two.
So we are a long time, please.
All of them
you.
is a long time. Just tell you 30 years now is fixed.
We are more than 30.
Mr. MP, sir, I
would have said single out the car park. I would have said all the car park.
Single out the car park. Every single one of them needs fixing in the worst way. And it needs to be addressed. Where we live, my neighbor lived there, dust, because it's a dust bowl. Where Miss Campbell lived there, that is worst. When I walk over there at the beach, because it's sand on my slippers or my shoes. That's how bad it is. So I'm saying, sir, every car park along that stretch needs to be fixed, not only two.
Look here. Both comments and all comments can't be challenged. If the thing bad, it needs fixing.
Yes.
All I was trying to impart to you is that we have gotten a couple of estimates already from where I am. As I said, earlier on today, I have to spend a bit out of what I get each year. Fix here, fix there, fix there. Not just roads, schools, health center, police station, everything that needs to be done. So that kind of pinch here, and go along. What we try to do is to go bit by bit along so over time we can complete it. So I don't want for 1 second give the make it appear as if I am downplaying the importance of urgency of any of the areas that is in need of repair. And that's why I was come to Mr. Williams' defense from the very beginning, because he has a right to advocate for the repair to where he lives that is outstanding. So we're taking note of that. We're just trying to program how much we can do each time. But the intention is to do all of them. And I have the challenges where to over in Gortuka, right? I was able to do one. When I go over there to tell you the honest truth, it is terrible. Terrible. When rainfall is actually like a waterway and mud, right? So I know the problem, and it's not your problem in terms of causing it to be. Because you know do nothing. Well, in some instances, some people contribute to the problem by them put concrete building material and so forth that harbor the water and cause the deterioration to the fast and so forth. But that said, you never caused that, you need to get it repaired. I am giving the undertaking to you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do it as best as we can, bit by bit, based on the funding that we have available. It is not because of lack of will or wish on the part of the councillor or myself. I don't want to come and meet and cuss me about the road. That not serve me, not help me.
I don't like that word curse.
Miss French, you know exactly what I talk about. Right? When we say cuss, a good cuss not talk about. Right? So, in all seriousness, you know, I have an obligation to try and make you contented. I'm endeavor to that. I don't want to walk on the problem for me every day and I try to solve them. Because I come here, I get up in that age, I don't want to get old faster. Because I see someone older than me and look fresher than me. Right? So I have to try to slow down that. So seriously, I'm aware of it. Individuals I've spoken to here have brought it to my attention. And the truth of the matter, we have fixed some. But we don't fix enough. Because some is outstanding. So it's not that we are totally neglecting the problem. We are dealing with it. But I know you want it to do at a faster rate so that you who are affected get some relief. And we're going to try to do that. We look for funds every single direction. Right? I tell you the other day I got some allocation from here. The Prime Minister announced about some money for repair to road. And when I send in my list, I hear that it can only use for an NWA road. And we have to start protest. Because I give a priority always to main road because everybody uses the main road. Right? But outside of the main road, I want to get as many of my inner roads fixed where my people have to drive through. So right now the Prime Minister put a hold on it. I'm waiting to hear from them what decision is to fix some of the inner road that I'm trying to get fixed out of my allocation, and other MPs have the same challenge. So we're trying all different means to get it because me want to live good and peacefully. So don't think it is being neglected. And about to cut off Councillor Wint head and think that because him hammer me too, you know, him sneaking, right? Him is one of 4 councillors I have. And him think that South St. Catherine is Braeton division. So we won't try our best. All right?
Don't come and use that.
Thank you, MP. Alright, just before we go back to the agenda, I just want to welcome my parish manager, Mrs. Aishi Wawako, and your good evening, everyone. Right. That's Miss Hope Aishiwawa. Not Ishiwawa, I know, but Aishiwawa. Right. And also Corporal Mickey Lord. For those persons, I'm sure everyone should know him, right?
You have all the big guns here in the
Alright, so they're asking the person to step forward so that person can see. Alright, so back to the agenda. Now we looked at the car parks, now we're looking at the park, and you're referring to this park here, right? And what is the concerns that you want to put forward to your MP and your councillor? Read the part here. So we're referring to the park here. So what is the concerns that you would want your MP and your councillor to do that you might? Get it fixed. Running again.
Fencing and the swing.
Right, that is what I want here. Be specific. The fencing.
Fencing and the swing. And all the other things that occupy the children. And all the kids.
Good night, everyone. Read the park. I don't think that all responsibility should be placed on the MP or the councillor. We fixed this part before with the councillor and the MP, and community bring it to this, in my estimation. So a former president there at the time when the park was being fixed, they worked doing the park, the benches and everything, and come there pass here. And the kids them, community children, they are the one that dismantle this park, you know.
No, I would not say that. A lot of children from this community.
You can't come in because I'm saying when I am passing.
But I'm telling you,
and I'm seeing,
right
listen,
at the front.
Listen, this is at the
other
front.
kids from other communities
Yes,
come here.
but I'm saying the kids them in this, and it's very heart-rending to see the effort that was put in this far by past President Carol Palmer, Patricia Phillips, I call in Todd, Patrick Todd, Opal Russell, Paula Taylor that passed. We worked really hard to get this park up and running.
And I went some for all, paint this park. Me and you paint this park.
No, I'm not talking about that, you know. I'm saying our kids, and the way how them treat this place, the blatant disregard for the service that we have placed in this place. So I'm a person, I say I'll bench and walking and go. And it all boils down to, this is my estimation, parenting. We all must give an account and responsible for our children. Because we have to let the children come to this part. But that's what we're going to help fix this again, you know. That's what we're going to help paint this again, you know. I'm very, very disgruntled. What if I labor will put in this part? See? And Hector Rowe, who was the one who initiated this, he and his part, this deceased wife. I see when they pass and see them do this something so do the tire so, because I cross them all the time. Over there, so I do videos, I will see them sit down on the bench and smoke ganja. And in the night time, and we don't care how old the children is as a parent, I think that we ought to be responsible. Yeah, this is now nothing to do with the MP and the code that has to do with us as citizens of Braeton.
Alright, thank you. Thank you for... Alright.
The issues, right? Understand all the work that was put into the park, right? Solutions from the implementation to the execution. I'm a solution-based person. So how do we go forward? Because the park cannot be a continuous eyesore that it presently is. So I believe that those questions, President asked a question. It is the way forward and how we are going to rehabilitate the park and make it useful again for the President here. So it's swing the most curbing up and running. Everything is going to come together as a community to refurbish the park. That is where the discussion is to go. And how we are going to secure the amenities that are in the park. It cannot be a free-for-all. There must be rules as to how the park is maintained and managed. So I believe that is where the discussion is to go.
Let me answer. Residents, I share their concern about the park. It's a very, very important space within your community. And a lot of work, as was said, have been put into this park. When the youth club exists, they had a responsibility. A matter of fact, we had meetings between them at the Citizen Association. And under the leadership of Chad, we were able to keep this park intact. When the youth club fell apart and the Citizen Association fell apart, there is where the park started to disintegrate into what it is. If you had an active Citizen Association and an active youth club, the park would have been where it was when we fixed it the last time. Labor Days, this was one of the Labor Day projects. And we had everybody in here coming and doing what they could do. We had benches, we had table, and we pay attention to the type of material we use, because we felt the material to use and build those tables and chairs, nobody could mash them up. And lo and behold, they mash them up. See the fence there? Tear down walls all around. It's not by itself. It's the residents, and residents must take responsibility for the space within the community. Me and Mr. Jackson can watch it. When this meeting done, we're going home. So, things like these, the citizens must take responsibility. We will facilitate with whatever help you may need. But when we do that and gone, the responsibility is the residents to take care of the park. So, in going forward, we citizens, we don't have a youth club again, we have an active citizen association now, and I'm hoping that you'll have an environmental committee or something that will take care of these things within your space. We will always be here to assist, but we cannot stay here and watch it for you. Thank you.
Look here, people. I don't want come to the meeting with the wrong idea. The meeting is not about for the MP and the councillor to fix Braeton. Nothing like that. Please don't get the wrong idea. The meeting is for us to come together as citizens of this community, to fix up the community. Not for the MP and the idea made like the car park. That's a different thing. But we are the one who's supposed to make this community look the way it's supposed to look. Not the MP and our council. Yes. Just want to get that clear.
They will help. They will help.
Yeah, they will help.
With the help.
No, he said that. He said that.
Right, with the help, right? Alright, so let's just have a quick discussion as to
The councillor, they can just provide an update on the well. I know you and I would have had a discussion about the welcome sign, but I believe the other citizens want to hear the update.
understand. That's a sign, welcome to phase 2, Braeton phase 2.
Yes. We have earmarked 3 signs for this year. One at the entrance of Old Braeton, one at Braeton phase 3, and one at the entrance here. The design has been done. It's just to implement it, but I don't know if you know, but we operate from a set of funds that's supposed to be given to us every month, which is called the PR, Parochial Revenue Fund. And for whatever reason it is, most of the municipalities are 3-4 months behind. We're supposed to get it at the end of each month. I'm not sure if we'll get October yet. And because we're not getting those funds in a timely manner, it have an impact on how we do some of these community work. So there's none to stop it. As soon as the funds are available, we will erect the sign. The other 2 are partially done, and this one is to be started. So as soon as the funds are available, we'll be starting the one here.
Thank you, Council. Alright, so before Council came on, I was saying that we could have just a short discussion as to the way forward when it comes down to the park here. What are your solutions ideas. Let us have a quick discussion as to how are we going to move forward in getting the park up and running. Is it that we're going to plan a fundraising, cake sale, whatever it is? What is it that we're going to do? So let us hear some of the ideas. And I'm sure they will be documented in a minute.
Fundraising, cake sale, different type of.
So fundraising activities like cake sale, and of course we would want to have activities that are hosted here. So maybe a little barbecue or something of that sort, something that is hosted in the park. So we said cake sale, right? A little domino competition or something to bring back out the people. One, and a little voluntary work as well, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So Labor Day is coming up. So let us hear some of the ideas. A committee, like a beautification committee, right? Environment and beautification committee.
And then we, as I say, Labor Day, because we have to collapse this park and this park was But one of the things, the long-term thing, when we get it come back to, yes, we need place lock again, the gate lock again, apartment, the gate lock again, and we have, like we used to, opening and closing time.
Yeah.
Anybody need to come in here? Because really and truly, you know,
It has to be monitored.
it used to be, and it's from that children come and used to
Bella
come and
Fonte.
walk in here. And
It's a
so
Bella
nobody
Fonte.
could come in here in time. But from everything we're doing. And as I said, kids them that classes from other places. So they in a greater places where I said not to. And they just climb the fence and come in here to have a very good time. Believe me, from some ice cream. I saw them one day and somebody pointed out to me, said, they don't come from nowhere about here. Them say the park and run them. So we have monitoring.
Right, so one of your solutions is that we have an environment and beautification committee, and within that committee we'll have somebody who will monitor the park, a caretaker for the park. Alright? And we will establish a fundraising. Any other suggestions?
Look here, dear. First thing with the park, you have to look around what needed, get an estimate. So we have a target now to work towards.
And we'll do that when the committee is formed.
Yeah, when the committee.
Yes, ma'am. You want to have a committee to do that. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, any other suggestions?
My suggestion is not so much, but I was looking at the other areas and I can remember by Greater Portmore they have a park there and it's an exercise area.
You mean over by Josephine Riley
Right,
Park?
and the exercise area, jogging area. Because the park is really big. It's a whole lot of park. And more, so if we could, all of us put together, and we look at these things and see how best we can implement something like that. To take up some of the other areas that are really idle.
Which brings me to a point that we will talk about in short order. And your suggestion that you mentioned just now will still come under the committees that we need to form. Alright, I know earlier we would have established that the Citizen Association, the Youth Club, all went down, right? So now we're in the process of revitalizing them, right? And Mr. Jones has started that, and we have to give him a kudos for doing that. We have to acknowledge that, alright? So before I go into that discussion, alright, so we have established our ideas, right? And one of the main things coming from this little discussion is that we would definitely need a committee when it comes on to the park, right? And in order to do that, we would have to revitalize, establish a citizen association, revitalize the citizen association, which will bring me to the next point after we have go to the last discussion on the agenda, which is the street lights and the rotten poles. Alright, so let us have that discussion, And then, based on what we were discussing, read the beautification committee. You'll see how that ties into what we are going to talk about next. Alright? So the street lights and the rotten poles. Neighborhood watch. Alright, so as soon as we talk about the street lights and the rotten poles, sorry, we will have Corporal Lord talking a little bit about the neighborhood watch. And again, where the neighborhood watch is concerned, we need persons who are willing. Thank you very much, in order for it to work. So yes, neighborhood watch, but we need persons to volunteer to be a part of this. Alright? So let us just talk about the street lights, and then we move on to that. We invite Corporal Lord to speak about that. So, street lights. What are the issues that we're having? The rotten pole. Mm-hmm.
I'm making L. Because the pole is almost on the house now, you know, if we have any little breeze, we're going to fall.
That's a JPS. That's a JPS.
What foundation gone?
I will personally follow up. Just give me the location.
What's the location?
There's a number on the pole?
Yes,
Alright, I'll get it. I'll follow up with the JPS officer.
Any other concern with the street lights? And the rotten poles? The lights are not working. And these are all the JPS poles? Alright. So your MP just identified that he will get the number of these poles.
Yeah, Mr. Wint, he has it. So I get it.
Mr. Wint have it. Alright, so they'll follow up on that with JPS. Alright, any other thing with the lights? So for the dark areas, you're saying for the dark spots that are in between, we want to see if we can get some street lights there, at night. Very dark. Okay. Alright, so we need to make note of that. Any other concern with street lights, dark areas? No? Alright, so we'll just move on to inviting Corporal Lord in speaking about the neighborhood watch, after which I'll come back to the mic and we will talk about our way forward with the Citizen Association. Alright?
Good evening, residents. Good evening to our head table. I see our MP, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Wint, our councillor. Mr. Dabney, respect Mr. Dabney. And good evening to residents. I'm very happy to be here. This spot of ground. We have done a lot of youth club activities here.
Yes,
I don't know if anybody remember when we used to have a vibrant youth club in this space. Yes, those were the days. Alright. However, today, quickly, I'll be talking to you quickly about some exciting things happening on the neighborhood watch. And we want Braeton Phase 2 to get back on board as soon as possible. There used to be a program here, Mr. Wint, I'm not sure if you're aware, that there used to be a vibrant program here. I saw a file with a lot of things that you guys used to have in this space, and we want you to get there and get back and get better than where you were before. And when I tell you that I will put exciting things happening on the neighborhood watch now, I can tell you that not so long ago we had Garvey Mead launched. And let me tell you about what we're doing now quickly. Is that gone are the days that we're depending only on the eyes to watch. We're using technology now on the neighborhood watch. And we are using what we call CCTV. And we know that a lot of persons have employed that resource on their house, on their homes. However, we're putting it on the entrance and exits of our community. And we're not only just using any camera, right? So when you're passing the communities that we are working with on the neighborhood watch program now, you'll recognize that these cameras that you're seeing, they're not ordinary. They're what you call license plate readers. So when the vehicle pass any of our cameras on a neighborhood watch, it reads what? It reads your plate. And guess what? We step it up a notch. And on the St. Catherine South, our new motto is that we are getting it right the first time. So what we're also doing too is that not only for the license plate, but we're also having face recognition cameras. So when you look, you'll see on the poles, you'll see 2 cameras. And they're there for a purpose. We could only put 1. Not true. We'll make sure we have 2 to suit the purpose of what we really want to achieve on the neighborhood watch. So guess what? We want the community to get back on board. Helisha will be launched very soon, by the end of March. Communities in Helisha will be launched. And we're just coming from Braeton phase 1. Just have an election phase 1. And myself and Miss Hope coming from there, they just have their election. And they too will already train as it relates to the neighborhood watch as well. So as soon as we launch Helisha, Mr. Wint, then we're heading straight now to Braeton phase 1. So I don't know what Braeton phase 2 up to. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know a shot doing a lot of work, so we're expecting great things. All right. So we just want you to get your program organized. We'll be training persons every quarter. As soon as you have your team ready, I can assure you, and I'm 100% sure. And I say 100% sure, I'm 100% sure that your member of parliament always assists in assisting us in funding the training. Right? So I can depend on him for that. All right. So as soon as you get the persons that we need to be trained, who we need to be trained, we need to train your street reps. Who are your street reps? You remember persons who used to be a part of the program back in the days? You remember the role of the street rep? All right. So we want one in the 5 the whistles. We want to train your community coordinator. Most of the time is the president of the community, right? We want to train your crime panel. We know that a lot of police officers and other security persons live within your space. That's true. We want to train your victim support team. All right. So your pastors, your counselors, yeah, to treat with whatever the issues that you guys may have in this space. All right. So I'll wrap up on this. All right. As soon as, so I'm making this charge now to the new executive that as soon as you get the team together, I will make myself available to get the training persons ready for your community to be trained. All right. Thank you very much for having me. I will continue this conversation as we go by. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Phase 3 is still involved because we had merged with phase 3 when we had that big exciting launch.
No. Well, phase 3 still, but we'll ensure that if you guys used to be, what I'll do, the next meeting I'll take documents to say how it is that you guys used to operate. Alright, so that maybe we could join or whatever you choose to do in relation to that. Alright? But I'll make sure in next meeting I take documents in relation to that. Alright? Thank you very much. Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Corporal Lord. Alright, so we are excited about the neighborhood watch, right? Yes. And as I said before, we need persons to be a part of. Alright, so we need action persons, we need persons who will volunteer and to be a part of this process. Alright, to the safety of you. Alright? Okay, so we are at our final point, right, on the agenda. I will now speak to the Citizen Association, which is Braeton Phase 2 Citizen Association, right? I'm sure for persons who would have been added to a WhatsApp group, you will see Phase 2 and 7 united, correct? All right, so just to make it clear, just to clear the air, right? The Phase 2 Citizen Association that Mrs. Collins is the president for and at this moment she is actually handing in her resignation letter, right? Just to be clear, the Phase 2 Citizen Association is still in existence, right? It is now the Phase 2 and 7 united. We get that clear? We're not saying that there's no longer a Phase 2 Citizen Association. We're not saying that it's a merger. So we're having Phase 2 and 7 united. You clear on that? You sure? Alright, so I just want to make that clear. And it's not an overnight thing where we just get up and say that they're changing the name. No, for persons, you know that there would have been house to house survey that was, we finished with that? We finished with the house to house survey? Almost, it's still going on, right? So it is not a 2-person or 3-person that say, hey, we're going to change the name or X, Y, and Z. It is it's an effort from everybody, right? And there is a survey that is almost through where persons will give their views, etc. And this is how the topics that we discussed tonight came about because of these surveys that has been going on for the past 2 months, 2 to 3 months,
Approximately.
right? By Chad and his team, all right? Miss Collins is from Phase 3. Miss Collins is in full support of this. Full support. She'll still be here, still a JP, still living in the community. She is just, her time will be, and her energy will be back in church. She have other obligations to deal with, right? I just need that to be clear. Alright? So the Phase 2 Citizen Association is now Phase 2 and 7 united. Alright? Which brings me now to what we're going to do in the process of revitalizing. What we're doing is that we are now going to ask persons to volunteer themselves so that we can have an interim body. So that we can do the constitution and then we can do our elections of officers. So right now we are going to ask persons to volunteer to be a part of this interim body. Alright, so I will give you the positions and I'll give you 5 minutes to have your discussions and we go ahead with that. Alright? You ready for the positions? Nobody not answer me. Go ahead. Alright. So we have the president. So we have the positions of president, secretary, treasurer, PRO, no man, I'm just naming.
Representative walk to get clear, to clarify. So a walkway representative, those are the persons that will be liaison with the residents or the persons on their walkway, right? So I would want us to look amongst ourselves and see who would fit to be the walkway representative for the walkway that you are on. Right, so who would want to get those nominations out right now, like? So for first Manatee, for Tuna, yeah, we can start with Tuna. So the walkway, Tuna, this is Tuna. All right, I would. Yeah. So, Kiman. Kim. I would nominate Kiman to be the representative. Kiman Williams.
Yeah, what's your name?
Or Tuna Avenue? Two.
Yeah, but they're making two.
Which Kim I'm in William?
Come on, sit down, everybody. Come talk, man. Come do something. Go on, come sit down.
Good afternoon or good night. I was saying I would like to work with someone else from the walkway.
Okay. Alright, so you can choose who
You choose the person.
I'm not sure who is. I
Then
just
we
say
want to win
willing.
some.
All based on willing.
Want to win some.
Who else is willing?
Win some.
She have a person.
Okay.
Alright, so
And Manatee, and Tuna. What many?
and Benny.
One to Benny.
Benny Williams.
Take for yourself. Well, maybe I try.
Alright, so the thing about it is we can liaison on that.
Yes.
So once it is that you identify anybody, we can discuss it and we move forward. Alright? So the next first man, hold on, before we go first Manatee, Braeton, Manatee Avenue. Denise. Is that saying? Yeah. Denise. So Denise would be, I would want to want her to share, but she's not here at the moment. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a broadcast in the group so that everybody can know who Denise is and where she represents, alright? Yeah. Alright, so for first Manatee now. Adrian Miller. Where is Mr. Miller. By popular request. Yes, sir. You are nominated. Walkway representative for first Manatee Way. Alright, give him a round of applause. Everybody give him a round of applause. Alright, thank you so much.
That walkway is a monitored walkway.
Alright. Second Manatee. Second Manatee. Anybody here from second Manatee? Okay, so you're all right then. You're accepted? All right then. Great. Give me a round of applause. Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. All right, so come. We're at third now. Third Manatee Way. All right.
No, not Chad. Anybody else but
All right.
Chad.
Somebody else.
Anybody else but Chad.
Miss Campbell.
Miss Campbell. All right. So one of the things that we had initially discussed is that we wanted 2 representatives for each walkway, 1 for each side. Right. So that is something that we would want to do. So I would want to work with Miss Campbell over on the top side. Right, Miss Bumble? No, I don't go to the bottom.
Left and right. Left and right.
Shepherd. I would want to nominate Shepherd. Yeah, class. Yeah, give me one round of applause.
That's fine.
Definitely. Alright, so we're on 4th now. 4th Manatee Way. Mrs. French. Alright. Give her a round of applause. Alright, so on the other side. Anybody else? Suzette? Yeah. But would I want to work on that side because you have good relationships with the persons on that side too also. Alright? Give her a round of applause again, guys. Suzette, alright, Suzette represent. Come on, give her a round of applause. Alright, everybody do it. Alright. Alright, so we're currently at somebody knows. Alright, we're now moving to 5th Manatee. 5th Manatee, whoop it. Oh, sorry. Alright. On the other side of 5th. Oh, Nia, give her a round of applause. I like that. Great. We're at 6th. 6th Manatee Way.
Karen, remember what
Miss Karen, give her a round of applause. Alright, and for the other side, Baker. I'm not sure. I don't want to.
Yeah, consider listen.
Listen.
After.
She had expressed her willingness. She had expressed her willingness. So we would want to see if we're able to work with her. Listen.
Yeah,
listen.
she can do it. Yeah.
We can see. We're going to see about it. So I will be sending all of these in the group so that everybody will be get their pictures and get acquainted to the persons that are representing each walkway. All right, I'll be sending that out to everyone. Where are we now? 7?
Yes.
Walkway number 7.
Miss
Miss Collins.
Miss Collins. Good job, Miss Collins.
Alright. Over on the other side. D. Alright. So we have to go reach out to them.
Yes.
We have to go reach out to them. We can depend on you put it on the command. Alright. Miss Dugarty.
Yeah.
Everybody can get a big round of applause for Miss Dugarty. Oh yes, so I will be so we're moving Braeton.
But first I say Mr. Dirty.
Braeton. Well, Braeton, first Braeton. I would nominate Mrs.
Dougherty.
We had reached out to Miss Dougherty about it, but she had expressed to us that she has a lot of obligations. Yeah, so she would not be able to accept that one. So we have to look for somebody else.
Anne-Marie, can you do it? Anne-Marie, can you?
All right, understood. That is understandable.
Well, leave that, you have to fight.
All right, so we will definitely be looking into that. So for a second, second Braeton, eh? Anybody here? Mr. Gatti, anybody that might be interested in being a representative? Mr. Gatti, truly believe so you can be responsible for all I run. All right, so that is something that we will have to. We're currently doing our neighborhood walk, so we will definitely be reaching out to persons on those walkways to see who would be interested, right? And we have been collecting numbers and contact information data. So we will definitely be liaising information in the groups, in the different groups. We have created a WhatsApp group, which is very much active, where we're cascading information. Everything that we're doing is being sent to everybody. At present, we have 130 persons actively engaged in the group, right? We intend to get that to more. To expand. Yeah, man, definitely.
The 130 they cover both sides of phase 2 and probably around 5 walkway left over 7. So the majority already.
Majority. Yeah, so we will be sending out these notifications. Also, actually, 7. Third Braeton way. Anybody, any representative from third Braeton way?
But I think Peggy I think Peggy.
Peggy?
Because I think she'll be a great.
Alright. So I'll reach out to her. I'll reach out. Melissa. Melissa, we reached out to Melissa and she said that she would be interested in getting third Braeton way, that is seventh Manatee way. Walk with them. Yeah.
Man on the left down at the end.
Alright, so we've completed Braeton way. Walk. Okay, so we are moving into phase 7 now. Walkway 34. Bolo. Everybody agree with that? We can agree with that. Bolo is a shopkeeper, man. No, man. Mr. Bolo, one of the person that we walk with around our faces.
Yeah, man, the shop.
Yeah, man. So I believe that he's a good candidate. He's
So
a
who
good
are going to
person.
walk with 35? The rest of them not them.
35.
Tiara.
What?
Eh?
A 35 Tiara live pan. Yeah, at
No,
35.
Tiara shall have
Oh, she have another role? Okay.
35.
36, 37 members.
Alright, so only y'all one? Alright.
Is 35 and me, they were 37.
Alright,
And nobody else
great.
not coming up.
Alright, no
I had
problem.
time to tell them to come in and
Yeah, we need to, Alright, great. So guys, we're doing a lot of engagement presently, so we will be reaching out to the persons and the different walkways, and we will be sending out the information. Which one?
I believe I'm calling one for Jackie. Yes, Jackie. No, not your dad. The one with the fat boy.
Yeah, right. She's seen.
Portugal.
Yeah, she's seen.
Now we don't want to Camille live by. My Camille live by. Yes. I find you're walking. Yeah. I see you walking.
Alright.
This guy is Camille.
Alright, guys.
Camille. No one.
Alright, so
I remember one time in a Bill Cosby, I used to love going to Bill Cosby and we reached at the point and said, for the church to run,
We need money. And the man said, let it run, brother, let it run, because it never want to give the money. What I'm suggesting here, since we have a good number of persons here, we have to collect dues.
Yes, I was
Dues is what helps us to do something. And I think we can make it small as we can, because we know things stop on everybody. So every person who can give $500 a month, you'll be surprised to know what it can do. So remember now, we're going to have to collect dues, all right?
great. Yeah, alright, that also will be added in the constitution. Also. Alright. So we want to move in. Yeah, we are gonna move into we are moving to something.
I'm sorry to leave before I say what I have to say. Mr. Jackson and Mr. Wint, you guys are very enthused with the crowd. Now, Chad and his team, especially Chad, we listen to the seniors, like myself, and he contact me, and he listen, and he do the work. That is the reason why he says so much young people. So the other groups can really copy. Because when he do anything wrong, me no wrong to call him, say, Chad, change this. And say, all right, Miss Campbell. So that is the reason why he says so much young people. So just take a lead. And we are going to pick him up differently, because in really, in a brush, not nothing when you say, Chad, but in a brush, you say, all right, maybe one different way. So that is the reason why some of the young people you will see more. Because him listen and him go with what the suggestion, he go with it. Brush it one side.
I want to also add to that too. We the adults know that they who can run up and down like the youth. We're giving the youths the charge to run with it, and we're running behind them. We are running behind them. We're not tearing them down. When things are going right, we give them guidance.
Yes.
It's our duty as the elders. Alright? So I'm encouraging all of us to be there for them. When you see them make an error, even when you send out something and the writing not so right, nicely say to him, Chad, that spelling was wrong. No cause said the boy can't spell. No. That's what we're here for, to work with them, to work with the young people, because they are the future. We're soon gone.
No, we are going.
All right, so thank you so much, Mr. Jones, for that assistance with getting the street reps, right? it's a mighty long way because I never know that something full of so much way and all of these things. But I'm here to learn, right? Alright, so we are going to go back now to choosing those 5 persons and then we can adjourn the meeting and we'll have a little refreshment and chit chat a little before we go home. So, for president, nomination.
Jones, president. I meant to nominate Mr. Javon as the interim president.
Right, remember we're doing the interim. Right?
Yes, otherwise known as Chad. That second, that third, that fourth,
Second. 100. Second.
Alright, alright.
I accept to serve my community.
Yes, sir. We know you will.
Alright, so for our vice president,
Tiara Murray.
Tiara Murray.
Tiara Murray.
I said that little girl over there.
Yes. Tiara. I don't have nobody to come out. It's my little girl.
Seconded, third, fourth.
Yeah.
Do you accept, Tiara? Alright.
They know her by a different name, you know.
MP, I believe everybody here knows that name.
Alright, so we have the president, vice president, the secretary.
Ashley John. That's my right hand.
Alright.
What is her position?
Secretary.
Okay, refreshing.
Alright, accept. So we have the president, vice president. Right, so we're going to our treasurer.
Winsome.
Money. Alright, so like it first, second, third, fifth, and sixth. Accept it?
Yeah.
Alright. PRO.
Sir Williams. Mr. Williams can do it. Mr. Williams.
That give him more impetus to
That's
the
all.
music.
Mr. Williams.
We'll visit you, Mr. Williams. We'll visit you.
Mr. Williams. We now see the man with them pants and them bottom down there.
So Mr. Williams, PRO.
Alright.
Alright, second, third.
Second, third, community, democratic. Yes.
Alright. Accepted?
Yes.
Alright. So we have our 5 positions. Alright, thank you so much for volunteering. I like the mix. The interim, right, for 6 months. So our next step after this now, what we're gonna do is with the interim exec members and the street reps, what we're gonna do is that we are going to do the constitution. We're going to draft the constitution. When we're going to ratify the constitution, we'll have a general meeting, right? And we do that, and then we will do the election. Alright? For the elected members, for the executive, for the Braeton phase 2 and 3, 2 and 7, united, right?
Yes.
I love the united part of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the united part of it. Alright, so I want to say a big thank you. We have over 30 persons that were here today, and we still, based on the time, we still have a lot of people here. I am amazed. Alright, so thank you so much for still staying with us to the end of the agenda. Right? So now is the time that we will now adjourn the meeting. Before I do that, I still want to give special thanks to our MP and our council for being here with us. Remember, they jumped from one meeting to another, and they're still here with us. Meeting adjourned, and they're still here with us, right? So let's give them a round of
Let us
applause.
sing the
for that.
national anthem.
Right? Alright, so let us please stand for the national anthem.
Alright.